I thought it was just heartburn. It was a quiet Tuesday morning. I had just finished breakfast, eggs, toast, black coffee like always. Then this tightness started in my chest. Not sharp. Not stabbing. Just pressure. Like someone was sitting on me. I figured it would pass. Maybe I ate too fast. Maybe I was just stressed. But 5 minutes later, the pressure turned into pain. My jaw tightened. My left arm felt heavy. I stood up, and the world tilted. That's when I realized, I was alone. No one to help. No one to call out to. Just me, and what I now know was a heart attack. In that moment, I had two choices, panic or act. According to the CDC, over 85,000 people in the US suffer a heart attack every year, and many of them are alone when it happens. And every second that passes, that's the heart muscle dying. This video is personal. Because I survived. But only because I did a few things right. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And what you need to know, if you ever find yourself in that same terrifying situation. This isn't about fear. It's about being ready. And trust me, you'll want to stay till the end. Because I'm going to share the 3 habits I've kept ever since, that just might save your life one day, too. My name's Harold Bennett. I'm 76 years old. I've lived in the same small town in Iowa for nearly 5 decades. Retired high school history teacher, widower, grandfather of 4. I live alone now. Not out of loneliness, but out of rhythm. I like quiet mornings. I like knowing where everything is. I like brewing my own coffee and reading the newspaper the old-fashioned way. But I also have high blood pressure. I've had it for years. My doctor warned me about it more than once. Gave me meds, advised me to cut back on salt, walk more, and keep stress low. And like a lot of men my age, I nodded, smiled, and kept doing what I'd always done. I didn't think I was in danger. I ate fairly well, stayed active. I wasn't overweight. I never smoked. But I also didn't take it seriously. I didn't have long-term care insurance. Didn't even look into Medicare supplement plans beyond the basics. I figured, what's the rush? I'm fine. Right? Until that morning. I wasn't. The truth is, most people don't think about heart attacks in seniors happening quietly, in living rooms, without witnesses. But that's exactly what makes them so deadly. You don't plan for it. You just wake up, drink your coffee, and then something changes. So I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a strange tightness in your chest and just ignored it? Do you live alone, or know someone who does, and wonder what would happen in a real emergency? Drop a comment below if you've ever thought, it'll pass. I'll be fine. Because I was that guy. And in just a moment, I'm going to walk you through the first thing I felt, and the first thing I did, that might have saved my life. Stay with me. The real story starts now. It started like a tight belt across my chest. Not a stabbing pain. Not Hollywood-style collapse. Just pressure. Right behind my breastbone. At first, I thought maybe I'd sat too long. Or that I'd pulled something in my sleep. I got up, stretched a little. It didn't go away. Then my left arm started to feel heavy. Not numb. Just like it didn't belong to me. And my jaw, a dull ache. Like I'd clenched it for hours without knowing. That's when I remembered something my doctor once told me. Not all heart attack symptoms are dramatic. In seniors, they can be subtle, until they're not. That line hit me like lightning. I sat back down, focused on my breathing. The pain didn't disappear. And now I felt a wave of nausea, almost like I was about to throw up. My hands were clammy. Cold sweat. And suddenly, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to stay conscious much longer. In that moment, you don't panic. You don't scream. You decide. And fast. Because here's the truth, most people miss. A heart attack, especially in people over 60, doesn't always look like TV. It can feel like tightness or pressure in the chest, not necessarily sharp. Pain radiating to the arm, jaw, neck, or back. Shortness of breath, even while resting. Nausea, dizziness, cold sweat, or an eerie sense of impending doom. That last one. The feeling that something is very wrong. That was the scariest part. Because no one was around to confirm it or calm me down. If you're watching this and have ever felt something strange in your chest and told yourself, it's probably nothing, I need you to promise me one thing. Next time, don't ignore it. Don't wait. Comment below if you, or someone close, ever felt one of these signs. You might help someone watching realize what they've been dismissing is actually serious. And stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact step-by-step I took to stay alive. Including the moment I reached for my phone, and realized I couldn't stand up. I tried to stand, but my legs weren't listening. It wasn't full paralysis. But they felt like tree trunks, heavy, unstable, disconnected. I knew if I forced it, I'd fall. And if I hit my head, game over. So instead, I slid down to the floor. Slowly. Carefully. I leaned my back against the couch, elevated my upper body just a bit using a cushion. I remembered reading somewhere that lying slightly upright helps ease pressure on the heart. Then I reached for my phone. It was just 2 feet away, but in that moment, it felt like 2 miles. When I finally got it, my hands were shaking. My vision blurred. But I dialed 911 and put the call on speakerphone, a trick I learned from my granddaughter. 911, what's your emergency? I took a breath and said clearly. I'm 76. I live alone. I'm having chest pain. I think I'm having a heart attack. My address is. That sentence may have saved my life. Here's what you need to know. When you're alone and think you're having a heart attack, your first move is to call emergency services. Don't wait. Don't Google. Don't try to tough it out. And never drive yourself to the hospital. If I'd tried to grab my keys, I wouldn't be telling you this story. After the call, I stayed still. No sudden movements. I focused on breathing slowly, in through my nose, out through my mouth. I mentally counted each breath, trying to stay conscious, trying not to panic. The dispatcher stayed on the line with me until help arrived. That voice. It was like someone holding my hand. If you live alone, like I do, make sure your phone is always nearby and fully charged. You know your address by heart. You've written down any medications or chronic conditions, like high blood pressure, near your phone. You have a visible medical ID, even if it's just a note on the fridge. And if you've ever had to call 911 for a loved one or for yourself, drop a comment below. Share how it went. Others need to hear real stories. In the next segment, I'll show you one decision I made in those next few minutes, something simple, you can do too, that helped me stay calm and alive. The pain didn't stop, but I knew one thing. If I panicked, my heart would only work harder. And when you're in the middle of a heart attack, every beat counts. You can't afford to waste oxygen or energy. So I did the only thing I could control, my breathing. In through my nose. 1, 2, 3. Out through my mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds simple. But when your chest feels like it's caving in and your vision is tunneling, even breathing becomes a battle. I focused on one thing in the room, an old photo of Claire and me on our anniversary trip. That picture became my anchor. I told myself, just stay conscious until they get here. And I kept repeating it. Out loud. Speaking calmly, slowly helped regulate my breathing. And staying calm helped lower my blood pressure, which was probably spiking through the roof. The American Heart Association says that stress, panic, and fear are some of the most dangerous accelerators during a cardiac event. Why? Because adrenaline increases heart rate and oxygen demand, it makes the attack worse. Here's what worked for me. Focus on a fixed object, a light, a picture, a clock. Mentally repeat a calming word like safe or breathe. Count your breath cycles, inhale for 3, exhale for 4. Speak out loud if you can, it grounds your focus. Remind yourself, help is on the way. Just hold on. And if you're watching this, I want you to practice it now, just once. Take a deep breath in, hold, and out. That breath could be the first thing that saves you if the worst ever happens. Comment below if you've ever used breathing to manage panic, whether during a health scare or something else. Your experience could help someone else stay calm when it matters most. And in the next part, I'll share a small white tablet, sitting in many people's medicine cabinets, that might make all the difference during a heart attack, but only if used right. As I sat there, trying to stay calm, a thought crossed my mind. Should I take an aspirin? I remembered seeing it on a health segment once, how aspirin could help during a heart attack. But I wasn't sure. I'd never taken it for anything like this before. So let's talk about that. Because when you're alone and your heart is screaming, every second, and every decision, counts. Aspirin is a mild blood thinner. It can help by slowing or stopping the formation of new blood clots, which are often the root cause of a myocardial infarction, the technical name for a heart attack. If a clot is blocking a coronary artery, aspirin can reduce the chance of that blockage getting worse while you wait for emergency care. But, and this is a big but, aspirin is not for everyone. Here's what the experts, including the American Heart Association, generally recommend. Do take a regular aspirin, usually 325 milligrams, if you are not allergic. You have previously been advised by your doctor to take aspirin in such situations. You are conscious and able to chew/swallow safely. Do not take aspirin if you've never been told to use it in emergencies. You're unsure if your symptoms are truly cardiac related. You have a history of bleeding disorders or aspirin allergy. You're unconscious, vomiting, or at risk of choking. If you meet the criteria and have aspirin nearby, chew the tablet, don't just swallow it. Chewing helps it absorb faster through the oral mucosa. But remember this above all. Call 911 first. Always. Aspirin is secondary to emergency response. It's better to have trained paramedics guide you, either directly or over the phone, than to guess your way through something this critical. Disclaimer. This segment is for informational purposes only and does not substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor beforehand about whether you should take aspirin in case of a heart attack. In any suspected cardiac event, call emergency services immediately. If you've ever taken aspirin during a heart scare, or have it set aside, just in case, drop a comment below. You might help someone else prepare the right way, before it's too late. And stay with me, because next, I'll share the mistake most people make when they're alone during a heart attack. They move too much. And it almost cost me everything. I'll be honest, my first instinct was to get up. To grab a towel. Splash cold water. Maybe even open the door for the paramedics. But the second I tried to move, my chest clenched tighter. My heart thudded like it was trying to punch through my ribs. And I realized something most people don't think about, movement can make it worse. When you're alone and in the middle of a heart attack, every step, every stretch, every action burns energy your heart doesn't have. You see, during a cardiac event, the heart muscle is starved of oxygen. And the more you move, the more oxygen your body demands, pushing a weakened heart into overdrive. Here's what I learned, and what saved me. Stay in place. Find a position that reduces strain. Ideally, sit upright or recline with your upper body elevated. This helps blood flow and makes breathing easier. Don't reach for things you don't need. The phone? Yes. Medication nearby? Maybe. But don't get up to find aspirin across the house. Don't go unlocking doors. Don't try to dress or tidy up. Let the paramedics break a door if they have to, your life comes first. Avoid stairs. If you're upstairs, stay put. Don't risk a fall or exertion that could cause your blood pressure to spike or your consciousness to drop. I remember telling myself, if I move too much, I may not survive long enough to be found. That thought kept me still. And staying still bought me minutes that made the difference. This is also why I later invested in a home healthcare alert system. Something as simple as a button on your wrist could mean faster help, without needing to move. If you've ever overexerted yourself during a health scare, or had to stay still while waiting for help, drop a comment. Your story might help others learn how to save energy in the most critical moments. In the next segment, I'll talk about the tiny adjustments I made after this event, like where I keep my phone, meds, and documents, which now help me sleep easier every night. After I got out of the hospital, I walked into my house with new eyes. Everything looked the same, but nothing felt safe anymore. Because when you're over 70, living alone, and you've just survived a heart attack, you realize every second counts. Every inch matters. So I made changes. Small ones. But powerful ones. The first thing I did, I put a fully charged phone on both floors of the house, one by my bed, and one in the living room. Not in a drawer. Not in my coat. Right where I could reach it. Next, I created a heart emergency kit. In it, I keep a list of my medications and allergies. A daily dose of aspirin, as advised by my doctor. My primary care contact info. Emergency contact numbers of my kids and neighbors. A basic note, history of high blood pressure. Suspected cardiac risk. I also posted a copy on the fridge, where EMTs always check first. Then came the insurance part. I sat down with my daughter and we looked seriously into Medicare Advantage plans that include emergency transportation and cardiology follow-ups. A long-term care insurance policy, so if I ever need help, I'm not draining my savings or burdening my family. A home health aid setup I could activate if recovery ever slows me down. These things aren't fancy, but they're lifesavers. And just knowing they're in place gives me something I didn't have the day I collapsed. Confidence. Peace. Control. If you're watching this and thinking, I'll do that later. Let me ask you. What if later never comes? Drop a comment. What's one thing you've already prepared for in case of a health emergency? Or what's one thing you know you should do, starting this week? Because next, I'll show you the 3 small habits I now do every single day that protect my heart, and help me take my life back after the heart attack. Surviving a heart attack changes you. Not just physically, but mentally. It doesn't just wake you up. It keeps you up at night. But I didn't want to live in fear. I wanted to live in control. So I built myself a routine, 3 small daily habits. Nothing fancy. Nothing extreme. But they've made all the difference. 1. Morning blood pressure check. First thing every morning, before breakfast, before news, before anything, I check my blood pressure. Why? High blood pressure is the #1 silent trigger for heart attacks and stroke. Tracking it daily helped me spot patterns. Stressful days. Salty meals. Poor sleep. It's all there, in the numbers. I record them in a notebook. Sometimes I text my daughter. It keeps me accountable. And if you're not checking yours yet, it takes less than 2 minutes, and it could save decades. 2. 10-minute movement. I don't run. I don't lift weights. But every day, without fail, I move for 10 minutes. Sometimes it's a walk around the block. Sometimes, it's just light stretching in the living room. The goal? Keep the blood flowing. Loosen the joints. Signal to my heart, you're not retired yet. The American Heart Association recommends at least 150 minutes a week of moderate activity. But even 10 minutes a day adds up. And trust me, once it becomes a habit, your body asks for it. 3. One heart-friendly meal decision. No, I don't eat kale every day. But I made a deal with myself. One smart food choice per day. That might mean swapping fries for roasted sweet potatoes. Or cutting back on salt. Or skipping dessert. I aim for foods that support artery health, like berries, nuts, olive oil, and yes, dark chocolate, a little. Small wins. Daily. They keep me from sliding back into habits that nearly killed me. If you've got one daily ritual that helps your heart, or you're planning to start one, drop a comment below. Let's build a list others can follow. It's the small stuff that saves us. And in the final segment, I want to say something I wish someone had told me before my heart attack. A message for anyone over 60 who thinks, I'll be fine. Because the truth is, you won't always get a second chance. If you're still watching this, thank you. It means you care. About yourself. About someone you love. About making it through the next emergency with more than just luck. Let me tell you something I wish someone had told me at 60. You won't always get a second chance. I thought I was healthy enough. I thought I had time. I thought heart attacks happened to other people. Until it didn't. And when it hit, I was alone. No nurse. No wife. No neighbor. Just me, a racing heart, and a few critical minutes to decide. Will I freeze, or will I fight? That day didn't break me. It taught me. It taught me to prepare. To pay attention. To prioritize the quiet symptoms over the loud excuses. And it taught me that survival isn't luck, it's awareness. If you're over 60, if you live alone, or if you've ever ignored your blood pressure, skipped your checkups, or said, I'll be fine, please, let my story be your wake-up call. Comment below, what's one thing you're going to change starting today? A new habit. A medical check. Even just moving your phone closer to the bed. Because that one change might be what saves your life. And if this video helped you, helped someone you love, or opened your eyes, like, share, and subscribe. Not for me, but for the next person who's Googling heart pain alone at 3 a.m., scared, and looking for hope. I've also included 2 free heart health resources in the description, one's a checklist, the other's a video guide. Grab them. Share them. Use them. Because the goal isn't just to survive a heart attack. It's to never have one again. Stay safe. Stay aware. And remember, you're never really alone, if you know what to do.